start him at home this Sunday. Elisa Brady, Fox News.
Well, more dry weather hanging around, nice weather hanging around as we kick off a new work week. Plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s for a Monday afternoon. We'll cool back off under a clear sky into the upper 40s overnight, but we'll get a little warmer, a little closer to 80 through the middle of the week, and then cool it back down a tad as we get into the upcoming weekend. Still no rain really in the forecast for a while. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Tell Me Lies brings Fleetwood Mac's greatest hits to life with authentic sound and high-energy performances. Catch the show on Friday, October 25th at 7:30 p.m. at Cain Center for the Arts. Learn more at cainarts.org. That's CAIN arts.org.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Focused on Hey, Claudia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, now you can. Yeah, there you go. All right, sorry about that. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek. We're going to talk about moving for a moment here because that's what happened this weekend for me. We changed over the entire radio station in a single weekend, which was pretty exciting. We went out of Radio Road and consolidated down to Cornelius, North Carolina today for the most part. And then we also have our new space that's going to be at Purple Heart Homes in Statesville. So it's been a weekend for sure. So moving is always a conversation. So the technical stuff has been going on today. That's what it's all part of. So
I know, and I'm so sorry you asked me to help, and I was so busy I couldn't.
Yeah, right.
I would have loved to carry stuff, but next time. So you had this. So you have two studios, just so people
Correct.
understand. One in Statesville
Yes.
and one here in Cornelius, where we are. But you moved.
The guts.
You're moving.
Because here's the other cool thing about what we do here. So we have NASCAR, we have Carolina Panthers football, we also have Charlotte FC, we also have Charlotte 49ers football. So we carry a lot of satellite stuff too, in addition to the political stuff, Todd Starnes, for example, a lot of those other ones, stuff like that. So I got a good lesson in soldering wiring over the weekend, which was pretty fun. So as far as a cool skill and all that kind of stuff. So it's just part of the process when you move. And so moving with real estate, we're moving with real estate. There's a commercial aspect to that when you're talking about what business occupies. But most of the days we spend here, we talk about residential, and that's what we're going to do today as well. First off, the green looks great. You haven't worn green for a couple of weeks for whatever particular reason, and now you're doing it. But
I think I have to, and then this is for my mind, I think I have to create some kind of tag saying I've worn this, so don't go back.
Yeah.
So I know. Because I'm looking, I'm like, have I worn the green, this particular one? Or so that's why I'm like, I was taking a break. So I trick people into thinking I have 100 green outfits.
That's okay. 100 green outfits is great. It's kind of like what I wouldn't describe. I don't take this example the wrong way. I was going to say like the Grinch because the Grinch wears green, but you're not the Grinch at all.
I am. Oh, my nickname on Christmas is the Grinch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My husband and my daughter call me the Grinch.
Okay.
We every Christmas is the same. I have the Grinch doll, I have ornaments, I have pillows because I am the Grinch. And I think one of the ideas with the green was also the Grinch. And just because I don't think gifts, like things you buy, matter. And then that's why I'm called the Grinch, because I'm like, it's not about the presents. It's about being present. So I don't do the Grinch stuff, but at the same time, because I'm kind of against things, they call me the Grinch. I have the mug. I have all Grinch stuff.
Well, you don't like things. Something that you do like is real estate, and that's an expensive thing. You get real estate for Christmas. That's a pretty good year right there.
Buy houses and not... shoes or whatever, toys. Let's buy a house.
And so this past week, 7 days basically since we had a little chit chat here, has the market dramatically shifted? Still the same?
I still think, as I said last week, the twilight zone, very, very interesting period. I do think it has to do with the election because I remember the same, maybe not as bad because interest rates were super low 4 years ago, but I remember people freaking out just before the election saying, I don't want to look at houses right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I need to pause. And I remember clearly some people saying, I'm not going to do anything right now until I know who won, which is kind of funny because those people, like, I knew it didn't matter at the end. So they freaked out for no reason. And I still think there's no reason. And I talked to you about, about it last week. Doesn't matter who wins. Number one, nothing happens right away. Number two, you still have the Congress and the Federal Reserve and the market itself. So it's not one president that can decide how inflation is. It's a team effort and it takes months. So I'm still talking to my buyers. I'm texting and calling them and say, guys, the market is kind of uh, hibernating right now.
Taking a nap?
This is your chance to get the house you want, possibly negotiate closing costs, seller money to buy down the interest rate. So I stop being silly and let's hit them hard. Just don't hit my listings, but I will hit other people's listings and get houses from my buyers.
For buyers to buy, there has to be supply, and this is kind of the conundrum thought that I've had in recent moments. The NIMBY mindset, not in my backyard, which exists, right? There's people that don't want any development, around.
Sure.
But there's such a need as far as supply right now because of the price and because of the sheer amount of people at a point where it's a need. I think, can we argue that at this point that it's not a need? Or do you hear anything from buyers and sellers about, I don't like all the development that's happening?
What I hear, I would say many people are not necessarily, and I'm talking about real people, real sellers or potential sellers, real buyers, not big time investors. I wouldn't say most people are happy about it. And many people are not happy about the cities, including Charlotte, Huntersville, that are allowing thousands of apartment units to be built. So not only they are taking over the space you have, but it's been taken by apartments. So I have sellers that are upset because they have great houses where, in which they could make tons of money, but then the city's allowing developers to come and attack them with apartments. So they're like, okay, should I hold on to this and see, or should I sell it right now before potentially things go, downhill because of the number of apartments?
Oh, no.
The need is here. We know that. We still have like 100 people moving to Charlotte every day. I just wish, the government thought about how quickly each area is being developed. Like, I know I live in Huntersville. It's crazy what's happening. I think it's kind of too much, like in terms of apartments, townhouses, same thing for, let's say, South End. I know it's cool, but I mean, if you drive, I don't know if you ever or how often you go to South End. It's crazy because it's like, it's apartment, condo, townhouse, one, there's nothing else. And
it's high density is what it's called. Yeah.
Super high density. And I get it. It's part of growing, but then where are the restaurants, retail stores, fun places for you to go to? I don't think it's equivalent. They are allowing too many apartments and not developing things for citizens to stay and enjoy the city.
Wow. Well, this first segment took a turn. Normally that doesn't go down, but it was a good one. It was fun, and thank you for playing. And we're going to find out, speaking of playing, more or less.
Yes.
More or less active incoming C units available on the market, 500,000 or less by county. Always looking at Mecklenburg County. What was it at last week?
1737.
1,737. Are there more or less 500,000 or less units in Mecklenburg County?
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, more dry weather hanging around, nice weather hanging around as we kick off a new work week. Plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s for a Monday afternoon. We'll cool back off under a clear sky into the upper 40s overnight, but we'll get a little warmer, a little closer to 80 through the middle of the week, and then cool it back down a tad as we get into the upcoming weekend. Still no rain really in the forecast for a while. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Serenity Now Massage Therapy.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernChristmasShow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville presents the Live Under the Oaks season finale on Friday. This free outdoor concert series comes to a close with a Kids in America performance at 6 p.m. powered by Waves Entertainment. Grab your lawn chairs and your friends for the Live Under the Oaks season finale Friday night at Brookdale Village. Sunday is the annual Boo Fest at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville. Put on your Halloween costume and enjoy the party with a live concert by Alice Cooper tribute band Love It to Death. Ghostface will be serving up cold brews, their delicious kitchen will be open with a full menu, and Beer Lab will have mixed drinks. Spend Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville for the Boo Fest Halloween party. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals on the 6th of November through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's Top 3 Series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated. The World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back, Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here are your hosts, Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. More or less, I asked the question. You didn't even answer it yet. Do you believe?
I kind of did while you were saying. I said I think it's less.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Is that because we're getting close to Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the other holidays for the end of the year?
I don't think so. I think, again, I'm talking about the election. I think right after the election, it will come up a little again, and then maybe down again just before Christmas and the holidays.
Okay.
Can you say Christmas before the holidays? Yes. But I think now the election is taking... By the way, I did vote this weekend.
Congratulations.
And Nina voted for the very first time.
Congratulations to her.
I was a little upset because they didn't allow me to be with her because I wanted to be next to her and film
take a picture,
and take pictures.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
The mom thing, yeah.
The mom thing. I'm like, but she's a baby. No. But yeah, it was fun. The three of us, we wanted to be with her, of course. And I might have not cried, but got a little teary as the lady checked her information. I'm like, and she's like, Mom, please.
Don't cry.
And I'm like, you are an adult now and you can vote. It's a nice, so it was a fun moment to be part of. Because by the way, in Brazil, we can vote when we are 16. We can only drive when we are 18, but you vote at 16. But it's completely different. Each person gets their, how do you call it, precinct? But it's like different. It's usually schools, private and you go and you have your own, let's say, classroom. So my parents were never because you cannot go in with anyone. And each person, it's not like one school. You have your specific, let's say, classroom where you go. There's a
Assigned.
number, yes. So my parents never saw me vote. And at least I got to see, because I was voting and I'm spying on Nina.
Very
That's
cool.
fun.
That's exciting.
Have you?
I did not vote this past
Okay.
weekend. It was a busy little weekend. Next weekend, planning to go because we wanted to go with the kids. We
Mhm.
wanted to be able to take the kids and them see the process. and
I'm
all
going to
that.
go and I'm going to say, no, kids don't go, because I was not allowed to be with my child. He's not going to do it.
Uh-oh. Well, I hope you exercise your right to vote as well. Remember, through November, until November 2nd, you can register and vote at the same time. That's the other advantage of early voting as well. So anytime until November 2nd, you can register and vote simultaneously, and you can go to any precinct within your county. That's the
Yeah.
other advantage as well, any of the available precincts in the county that are eligible during early voting. So make it a point and go for it. Because what that does is then you can do things to
Then we can sell houses again.
sell houses and
So
all that
help
other
me.
kind of stuff. So
I know. I wish I could say, let's end this. Let's everybody please vote right away, because then market goes back to normal, or whatever normal.
I was going to
is.
say, now you're calling it normal right now. What would you say has the feeling of normal in the market right now? What aspect has the feeling? Is it pre-contract, due diligence, post-close? I guess post-close, it's normal.
it's not this past 15 days, 3 weeks, but it's been okay, meaning it's not as crazy, of course, as it was. And it was not a fun time, the COVID thing. It was cruel it was awesome if you had listings, but it was horrible and cruel to 99% of buyers. Crazy due diligence fee and everything else. And how many times I would leave a house, like show the house at 2:00, and at 2:15, as we are headed to the next showing, let's say, I get a text saying, you have 2 hours to submit an offer. So I had to call my client, say, hey, if you like that one, I have to stop at a Panera and type the offer right now. There's no time. So this is over. So I would say the normal market is just, a few days on the market. Again, many sellers do expect every single house to go within 48 hours, and that's not true. Right? Oh, I forgot to check, but last week I talked about days on the market now for Mecklenburg County. I forgot to check this week. I can during the break, but last week was 20 days for single-family homes, 22 days for townhouses, and on MLS in general in our area, 31 days for single-family and 26 days for townhomes.
Okay, generally
which is like
speaking.
the new normal.
And does that feel like that continues?
I think now it's going to be a little more than that because of the election. And then that's what I'm saying. I think right after the election, we go back to about 3 weeks, 4 weeks on the market, which should not. I know we were spoiled in a way, like sellers were spoiled, and they think the normal should be 48 hours. I think it shouldn't be horrible to be 3 weeks or a month on the market. Again, we were spoiled for a while. I think just, it has a little, it was bad. It's never fun for buyers not to have time to even think. And that's why I'm very lucky. I check with my clients. I don't think any of my clients regret what they did during the COVID craziness, because I would calm them down. I would tell them, like, don't buy just because you think there will be another house and many others. So this is not, unless, but I don't think anyone saw like, oh my God, this is like my dream house. I always calmed them down. I said, look, we're going to find one. This is not it. Like, it's okay. So now it's good that people, so I'm lucky to say my clients didn't regret what they did. But now for the ones that were rushed either by themselves or their agents to buy whatever, I think for the current buyers, it's a way calmer, better process.
You compare COVID to, name another time that anybody's, been alive for. I mean, you could say the Great Recession. You could say financial crisis, 2008. The weird thing, the inverse happened, though, right? Because In the financial crisis, it was the buyers dried up because nobody was getting loans, and so prices went down because sellers couldn't sell. There was no buyers to buy anything.
I think I wasn't here, but I remember, watching the news. I think too many people got houses too easily just before that happened. And then it was almost like a pyramid scheme, like you buy today and you sell 30 days. I remember being crazy, and I remember hearing that, and I'm like, this is not how, like, it cannot be sustainable. Like, houses don't appreciate by magic. And I had a friend my best friend was living in the United States, and her husband wanted to do it. She had investments in Brazil. She had the money, and he was like, we're making tons of money. You buy and you sell a month later. And I said, I feel like this is a ticking bomb. You might be lucky to do that, but at the same time, you can be the one with the bomb in your hands. So she didn't do it. And right after, the whole thing. So yes. And I mean, I wasn't here again, but it was the opposite, right? Everybody trying to get rid of the houses, and there were no buyers.
Okay. So looking back on the financial crisis, leading into it, it was a ticking time bomb. Are we in a ticking time bomb now going in another direction?
No, not in our area. We have to be very specific about this. Like, we are in Charlotte. Too many people are moving. We don't see anything like that changing. Our area is extremely attractive. It's IT, banks, hospitals. People will keep moving for who knows how long. Might that change one day? Sure. It's the same thing. I think many people, Atlanta got so big and crazy that now people want to move out of Atlanta. So I think we are going to get to a point where people say, no, I cannot deal with Charlotte anymore. Let's move to the next one. And I'm just here trying to figure out where the next one is so I can buy something there. I'm going to be like, let me see.
All right, so tell a story then. You want to start buyers or sellers, or you want to tell a story about this past week?
I can, buyers.
Okay, go for it.
So my buyers, again, even though I'm talking to them, they are kind of waiting, but I do have one couple that like wants to move. The sooner the better. And they have very specific taste and what they want. And there was a house, and they live in South Charlotte, but they would be open to moving to Huntersville. And then I previewed a home. They had stopped by, I think, at an open house, and they said they couldn't walk in because of the smell of pets. Like,
couldn't even step in the house.
No, they said, oh my God, because he is allergic. So I said, all right, because the house seems amazing, price is good. Maybe you were on a bad day. And so I went there, and the house stank, and it was filthy. And I mean, I would love to buy it and renovate it. I just don't have. It's in a country club, because I also say you never know. It doesn't matter. It can be a lake house. It can be a mansion. You don't know how clean or dirty or whatever the people inside the house are. And this is one case. And talking about this, actually, I want to talk about, I don't know if the break is coming soon, but talking about this house and how bad it is. This is a house that should be sold to investors. Off the market, cash investor buyer, because the house has to be completely renovated. It's not about washing the carpet anymore. It's like the whole thing. And then when I left the house, I always leave feedback. So for people that don't know, we have an app where we schedule a showing. Once you're done, you're expected to leave feedback. I always do. But at the same time, many times you share
Showing
that.
Time, who's also owned by Zillow, but sorry, different
Everything
conversation.
is owned by Zillow. So I do, but I try to be nice, because if they're sharing with the sellers, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But at the same time, I do think that constructive criticism or honest opinion, not hurtful, but honest, helps. And then this agent called me today, actually. So I want to talk about it when we come back.
Okay. Sounds like we got something to talk about.
Yeah.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, Justin Ckezepis.
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis, in just a moment on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Well, more dry weather hanging around, nice weather hanging around as we kick off a new work week. Plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s for a Monday afternoon. We'll cool back off under a clear sky into the upper 40s overnight, but we'll get a little warmer, a little closer to 80 through the middle of the week, and then cool it back down a tad as we get into the upcoming weekend. Still no rain really in the forecast for a while. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Moments like hearing my cat purr good morning mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. SerenityNowMassageAndWellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
This is Brad with Lake Norman Patio and Game Rooms in Mooresville. Come check us out and see the greatest outdoor furniture in the world. LKNPatio.com, 847 Brawley School Road in Mooresville. LKN Patio and Game Rooms, outdoor living at its finest.
Family, quality, value. With a legacy of excellence for over 40 years, Horn Heating and Air Conditioning will make your house feel like a home. Welcome home to the feeling of HornHVAC.com.
This is the Bloomberg Money Minute. One Wall Street banking giant is taking climate change pretty seriously. JP Morgan Chase hiring a climate scientist from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, to advise corporate and investment clients on the impact of climate change, hurricanes, and other impactful weather events. With a tentative deal on a new contract with its striking machinist union, shares of Boeing are up about 3% today, but elsewhere on Wall Street, stocks mostly lower on this Monday. Right now, the Dow is down 0.8%. The Nasdaq is up a small fraction, the S&P down a third. The struggling TGI Fridays restaurant chain looking to secure some financing as it prepares to file for bankruptcy after struggling to turn things around since the pandemic. A lot of its customers have turned to cheaper fast food outlets. And industrial giant 3M is the latest company to end its generous remote-friendly rules. It's now asking managers to be back at the office at least 3 days a week. Tom Busby, Bloomberg Radio.
Call now to speak with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis at 844-STUDIO-4. It's today's Real Talk on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. More or less coming up soon. Are there more or less active and coming soon units on market this week as compared to last? Now, the criteria, 500,000 or less by county. We always look at Mecklenburg first. Yes. And you're saying less already.
I am saying less already. Do you know the number or you have to check?
I might know the number. That's none of your business right now. That's not until the last segment. So you told us about a buyer.
Yes.
You said you wanted to talk more about buyers.
Yes. Well, I want to talk about the feedback. So again, as realtors, we are supposed to leave feedback after showing. So either the realtor, the listing agent knows why or why not, or why not we are sending an offer. And then depending on the case, they share with the seller. So I always give feedback, and I try to always give something that is constructive and real, and again, not rude, but real. So if my clients didn't like it for whatever reason, I'm going to say it. Um, being the the pet smell or the size of the room or the neighbor. There are so many different, and sometimes it's the price. So I do say it's overpriced. The house is great, but and I, it's pretty annoying because many of my colleagues say that no feedback is feedback. So I ask you, do you agree with no feedback is feedback?
Ultimately, you're looking for an offer. You're looking for a buyer, a ready, willing, and able buyer to make an offer that fits what the seller is willing to accept, thus creating market value. That's what you want. And feedback is a courtesy concept of the system. Shouldn't there be, because if it's numbers, and if it's based on math and it's based on comparables, shouldn't every broker know whether or not a house is overpriced or not? Even the listing broker.
I would say, sure, this is what we do. We run a CMA, and then I will talk about sellers here later, but we run a CMA, we check houses that sold in the area, we compare, we adjust numbers to get to the final numbers. So yes, in theory, we should have the price. But still, the feedback, if we know the price is right, and sometimes you can be wrong. So this will be a feedback. Someone say, hey, I don't know what comps you used or what the adjustments you made, you were wrong. And it could be an amazing, not only as a learning thing, like, okay, I made a mistake, but also to show the seller. Because sometimes we do say, this is not the price, right? How many times you come and say, hey, your house is 500, and the seller says, no, it's, and I usually don't take those listings anymore. Like if you don't trust what I'm saying, I might not be because I don't want a listing to be overpriced on purpose when it's not worth that money. But
What's
anyway,
called buying the listing.
Yeah. Like I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste my seller's time. I don't want to get upset and vice versa. But anyway, but let's say the price, so the price listed by an agent should be correct or pretty close to what's right. But then there are other factors that could be just buyer's opinion, which, many times I am with a buyer and they say, oh, I hate gray. I'm like, guys, it doesn't change that the house is worth 500. You paint the wall. Like the sellers don't have to paint the wall the color you like. This is what the house is worth. I just think yes, it's courtesy, but why not help each other?
Okay, so price. Okay, then condition you bring up. Let's not talk about paint on walls because we all know in the answering of that situation is, hey, you can paint the walls any color you want. This house doesn't. You don't need a permit to paint your walls. But let's say condition, age of equipment, HVAC, water heater, roof, all of the major things, and those type of items. Shouldn't all brokers know these things are stanky and they're about to need to be replaced?
Yes, and not only that, we had this conversation. You can check as the listing agent and as the owner, if you don't want to go to you can guide your sellers and say, guys, you can find out how old your water heater is, your HVAC. So I hate when I see disclosures without age because I'm like, don't be lazy, just go on Google and you can find out. But anyway, yes.
So I can see why you like feedback because you are the perfect broker that wants to give feedback because you're going to price yours right at the exact right price, and you're going to make sure that condition is not, if not top notch, fully disclosed to a buyer.
Because I think it saves people. And I'm going to tell you, like I told you, every single listing of mine comes with a detailed floor plan with the measurements, where the closet is, everything, where the door, where the closet, how big the closet, everything. And most agents put it as an attachment to MLS, so only agents see. I put as one of the pictures. So whoever is playing around, our friend Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com, you can see the layout, the size,
Compass.
everything. Compass, yes, of course. I send my clients Compass, but we know the public goes to those I don't know why, but anyway, it's a different conversation. And then I had one of my listings, the one I was talking about, the Statesville one, and the feedback came, oh, the rooms are small. And I hope they live in Statesville because the floor plan with the measurements are part of the picture. So not only the agent could have seen it as an attachment, but the people looking for a house could have seen the sizes of the bedroom. So, this is.
Is the first question you ask on feedback for your listings, are you planning to write an offer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great feedback. That would be the feedback I would want. So including that, the rest of it's great to have so you can show your sellers you're working for them or you're telling them that's market data. That is showing you what the market is saying about your unit and is your price right, is your condition on par, all those kinds of things.
Yeah, but collaborate, help each other. I'm serious, help each other.
You're so
That's why
kind-hearted.
it's why do you offer or sometimes or used to offer a buyer's agent commission? Because a buyer agent is bringing you a buyer that's ready, willing, and able, right? So why not work together to benefit our clients, our sellers, and our buyers? It's the realtor's job to make it happen. But I don't know if you heard about it, going back to the feedback thing that I mean, it takes 30 seconds, so why not? But there was a story, I don't remember where, not in North Carolina, that an agent put the feedback, no, my clients are not interested. I don't know if there was something rude being other than we're not planning. A few weeks later, they changed their minds and they wanted to put an offer. And then the seller said, no, because you said you didn't want my house. So now, and I think,
that was your only chance. That was it.
Yeah, and there's a lawsuit going on or something because of the feedback. So now many people's like, oh, I can't leave feedback because if I say something wrong, my clients might, which I think is silly, but it did happen.
Speaking of lawsuits, speaking of commissions, how's it going with the whole NAR settlement thing? Are you seeing sellers saying absolutely not to buyers agents in droves?
Nope. Honestly, in the everyday, yes, we talk about it in more depth at a listing appointment, and we talk about it in the buyer appointment as well. So it is like an extra time that you spend on both sides, but in real life, sellers are paying commission. They understand the benefit of offering because many times buyers can't afford their agents.
I'm curious about this. Are you seeing any additional or increased frequency of wanting to negotiate it? That's sellers wanting to say, okay, I want to offer them a something, but let's talk about what that is. Are you seeing that at all?
No. The discussion of commission has always happened to me, with me. I always check. I always ask, do you understand? Are you okay? This is how I charge, and it's private, but whatever.
No, of course. But you have a direct conversation. You disclose, and you all absolutely.
So I had one seller that wanted to test it, but very quickly, I think because, and this is something else that we might talk about if we have time, feasible. He wanted to go feasible first, and then he quickly realized that, he would pay commission to the buyer agent anyway. Otherwise, it would be much harder to sell a home because we have the buyers. Most people that are buying a house want to have an agent to represent it because it's a lot of information. It's very overwhelming, and many people don't want to take a chance of not knowing what they're doing.
And do you find buyers, when they're stepping into the process, let's say first-time home buyers, the internet is very real. People can research. They can do all kinds of things. Do you think buyers are coming in more educated than years past with the increased access to information?
I don't think so. I think it's the same because it's kind of funny you say the internet is very real because it's also very fake. So I do think that people want to find someone they trust, even though they see things, but because we know it's like a filter on Instagram kind of thing, they always want to hear what we have to say to know what's real and what's just. And believe me, my clients send me some posts and things, and I'm like, why are these people talking? Because they lie. So
today's Real Talk. The show focused on North Carolina real estate. Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Justin Ckezepis. Next up, more or less. Are there more or less active and coming soon units on market?
There's more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on the way from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, more dry weather hanging around, nice weather hanging around as we kick off a new work week. Plenty of sunshine as temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s for a Monday afternoon. We'll cool back off under a clear sky into the upper 40s overnight, but we'll get a little warmer, a little closer to 80 through the middle of the week, and then cool it back down a tad as we get into the upcoming weekend. Still no rain really in the forecast for a while. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts.
The Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Save on tickets at southernchristmasshow.com, courtesy of Kraft Body Scan.
The Southern Christmas Show.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Brookdale Village in Huntersville presents the Live Under the Oaks season finale on Friday. This free outdoor concert series comes to a close with a Kids in America performance at 6 p.m. powered by Waves Entertainment. Grab your lawn chairs and your friends for the Live Under the Oaks season finale Friday night at Brookdale Village. Sunday is the annual Boo Fest at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville. Put on your Halloween costume and enjoy the party with a live concert by Alice Cooper tribute band Love It to Death. Ghostface will be serving up cold brews, their delicious kitchen will be open with a full menu, and Beer Lab will have mixed drinks. Spend Sunday at Ghostface Brewing in Mooresville for the Boo Fest Halloween party. The Dirt Track at Charlotte Motor Speedway presents the World of Outlaws World Finals on the 6th of November through the 9th. Catch Dirt Racing's top 3 series for 4 days of action to decide their championships, featuring the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, the World of Outlaws Late Model Series, and the Super Dirt Car Big Block Modifieds. Single day and 4-day ticket packages and camping information are all available at charlottemotorspeedway.com. Often imitated, never duplicated. The World of Outlaws World Finals invade the Charlotte Motor Speedway Dirt Track in November. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
The Renaissance Festival is back Saturdays and Sundays, now through November 24th. Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Tickets available online only at renfestinfo.com. Don't miss it!
We're back with more of today's Real Talk with Claudia Ogrizek and Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. More or less. All right, each week we look active and coming soon units on market, meaning listed in Canopy MLS. And we have to put some criteria on it. So we look at 500,000 or less by county. And we always look at Mecklenburg County. We've been tracking Mecklenburg, it looks like, for a few weeks now. Last week was 1,737 units active and coming soon. So Claudia Ogrizek, this week, are there more or less active and coming soon units on market?
I am positive it's less.
Positive. Did you cheat?
No.
Okay. You just feel it.
I do it for
strongly.
fun. I do not look because I want to see how many times. And I've been right a lot.
So you think the market feels like it's trending down or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Okay. Because you're right. 1,714 is this week.
So last time we were under 1,700, which might happen next week, was in August.
Wow.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
had a pretty good September, 2241. I hope we
I don't
get to
know. That could have been,
again.
remember, that one could have been a flaw on my part. That could have been user error on
Right?
my
Because
part.
it was,
so
maybe it
that
was
a big
now
jump,
looking at everything else. I think
Sheesh.
you were
Check the data. Check the data.
you were drunk or on cheer wine.
The sugars. Yeah, that's probably definitely going to be it. All right. So 1,714 active and coming soon units on market. That's 500,000 or less, and it's in Mecklenburg County. Remember, Mecklenburg County being a county with a population of 1.1, it may have jumped to 1.2 million now. 1.2 million people when you got 500,000 or less. And we look at that because the price point in the market. And so buyers, and when you're talking to them, It's a different type of buyer that buys at 700, 800, 900,000 than that typically buys at 2, 3, 400,000. Are you seeing it just more and more of the 7, 8, the 500,000 plus, if you would, where 500,000 is a minimum, more and more in the geographic territory we're currently in?
I think now the starter home, the fire, and I might be, but the first time buyer, starter home, some of them have to go up to 500. And I do think the slower kind of market that I see right now is the one under 5. So it's more about first time, which breaks my heart. I love them. First time buyers, starter home. And I think this is the market really being crushed, if you can say that word right now, the one that's quiet. When you get to $1 million, things are happening. I have a new client, a new buyer. Now that did I talk about? Well, let's keep talking about buyers. New buyers, once again, referred by repeat clients, so love it. They are likely moving from Raleigh. We have many people moving from Raleigh, and many people that came from out of state. They were thinking about Charlotte and Raleigh. They did end up choosing Raleigh. They don't like it, so they're coming. So I see a wave of people that came from, let's say, New York to Raleigh, and then they're like, we don't like it. We want Charlotte. So they are coming this weekend, and I was going to preview one of the houses on Thursday. I didn't even it went under contract. And this morning they sent me, they're going to be here this weekend. So we are kind of getting ready to see what we want to see. They sent me another one. It went under contract. So $900 and $1 million, and it went under contract quickly. So I think the higher price point is still going fast enough, or kind of the same speed as before. But the first-time buyer market has been pretty flat, I guess, slow, because again, you're talking about a high price for a first-time buyer. Interest rates are high, and I will keep repeating, and that's what I'm telling my clients. Take advantage of the moment right now, because in spite of the higher interest rate and everything else, the moment now is great for us to try to negotiate things for you. Resale, because sellers are, again, there's no reason, but they are worried about the 30 days on the market. So let's take advantage of it. And new construction, which is going crazy, giving all kinds of incentives because they need to close the year with the numbers they have set to, and we have to take advantage of that.
Got to work through it. But the house that you buy today, your hope is that it's worth more sometime down the road when you go to sell.
I checked last week when I was checking the thing about price decrease. And by the way, I can give you the number because I checked last week. I'm going to cover it because then you can't see. I was checking, and now I lost what I was going to say about the price decrease. Okay, let me see.
The number of units.
If it comes back to me. But anyway, so
let's talk about... There's no such thing as a price decrease in this market.
Yes. Oh, okay, thank you. I just thought about it. When I was checking the number of price decrease last week, do you know year to date how much, on average, houses in our market have already appraised? In the Charlotte market, Canopy, right, our area, year to date, average increase in price, in value.
Okay.
Do you know the number? Or try to guess the number.
27%.
27%?
Yeah.
Are you crazy? How?
What is it?
7%.
Okay, all right.
But it's pretty awesome.
Well,
you buy a house January 1st, and now the house is worth 7% more already.
If you're a seller. It's only relevant if you're a seller, though.
Again, but if you buy a house and you wait, it will appraise and it will keep adding, getting value over time.
What you think about that? The house you told us about first thing at the beginning of the show, the stank house with the pets and everything. You think that one's up 7% on the year?
People no, but why? Because they didn't maintain it.
Oh,
and that is why. By the way, now let me change topics to listings. I told you before, I think we started, I have 5. I actually have 6 new listings in the works. Some of them, 3 of them, do depend on work opportunities of people moving out of state, but 3, one of them, it's still because I know that the husband is a believer in the FISBO method. So I don't know if I got this one, but I have 5 listings that I got. And one of them sent me a list of her maintenance, which made me so proud. She takes amazing care of the house. We are photographing it on Wednesday, by the way. And she said, I watch your show, I pay attention to what you say, and I do take care of my house. And then she has this amazing maintenance list. I even posted on Instagram. I'm so proud of her. And the Stank house, not my clients. They let go of the house. So now, instead of just needing some paint and some caulking, it needs a full-blown renovation. At least, and I'm not talking about anything major at all, but at least $50,000 to make it nice, because I think it needs to be completely, it has to be completely redone. And I'm not talking about redoing the kitchen or bathrooms. I'm talking about just, the abandonment that this house suffered through the years.
You get into structural potential, you get into all kinds of things
Everything.
at that point.
I see the cracks. So it's more than paint and carpet. There's a lot going on. Why? Because I'm sure, and unfortunately, many people think that the house will just be there forever if you don't take care of it, and you have to do it. And by the way, we have to talk about Maintenance Monday.
Let's talk about it. Maintenance Monday. Okay. What you got for us?
So today is not a house, but part of most of our houses, because most of us do it. It's the grill outside.
Well, now we're talking.
Right? Because I believe most of us do have or plan on having a grill in the backyard, in your deck. And if you don't maintain your grill, especially if you have gas, it's a fire hazard. You can have explosions, you can have gas leaks, you can have fire. Not only you can hurt yourself, but if it's a bigger issue, you could actually start a fire that would hurt your house. So make sure you check your grill every now and then, clean it, make sure there's no gas leaking from the little tank thingy.
Connector.
How often do you grill?
I enjoy grilling. I to be honest with you, in the past couple of weeks, I haven't done it as much as I like to. I do like it, the taste, the flavor, everything like that. Also, because of lack of maintenance, I let a drip happen in the oven, and I got to clean it before I can really let it loose in there again. So I know you love that idea. So it's.
Are you a gas grill, charcoal? Do you have those giant egg things? That
no, I don't. I never got one of the eggs. I don't really hate on the heat source, if you would, right? Between gas, between charcoal, between electric. I don't really hate on it. I like the taste the most of a flat top. That's my favorite, is a flat top.
And I know it's a thing now.
The griddle, as they call it.
I think it's a new thing.
It's a pretty new thing.
TikTok. Yeah. Did you see it on?
I don't have a TikTok, actually, to be honest.
But I see many people talk about my neighbor, I think, just bought one.
Griddles are fun. And really, as long as it's food and it's outside, that's not a bad combination right there. Speaking of, are you seeing people still invest in their homes? You're thinking about kitchens, you're thinking about the masters, you're thinking about the outdoor space, pools, all of that kind of stuff. Are people still doing that around here?
Very often, yes. Very often. I see it in my neighborhood. I have my neighbors calling me to come here, give me your opinion. What do you think? So yes, many, many people do invest, and they're doing the right thing. The only thing I like to say is, and there's no really forever home in my opinion, but if you think it's forever home, just be careful with the level of renovation or addition, because it might not match the neighborhood, and then don't complain if you can't get all the money back.
Wow. Time flies. It's the end of the show.
Okay.
We didn't even talk about new construction for the new construction queen. We didn't even talk. We didn't even talk about rates this week.
No.
My goodness.
I think it's like 6.
Doing the same thing that they was doing last week. Is that why we didn't talk about it? Maybe. Yes. Okay. Claudia Ogrizek of Ckezepis Real Estate. Justin Ckezepis. Join us next week. Join us every Monday from 3 to 4 o'clock. and learn something about the market because it's doing something.
Serving you better than ever before. WSIC, Statesville, W290DK Mooresville, W264